So my name is Kinley Stafford. I am the youngest daughter of my dad. My dad is Kenneth Kelly, and he went by Ace Cameron, and that is who we're here today for. My dad was an outgoing guy, always life of the party, always did things for others, put himself on the back burner kind of thing. I was a daddy's girl, so yeah, he was always on the go.
My name is Whitney Cope. I am the oldest daughter of Kenneth Kelly. As Kinley mentioned, he goes by Ace. Everyone knew him as Ace. As Kelly mentioned, he was very outgoing, but he was very much the guy who would give you the shirt off of his back. He was always there in a time of need, whether it was for his family or for the community. Didn't make a bit of difference. I mean, that's why we're here today, because he did die in the line of duty, and it was because he, despite the way he was feeling, he still went out and helped others. It's hard to say why my dad became a firefighter, just because I'm not sure exactly what he would tell you, but I think there's probably a lot of reasons why. I don't know maybe the exact reason that he would tell you necessarily, but I think just because of the person he was and who he was raised to be, to help others and to be able to share his talents and the things that he could do to help others, and that's probably what drove him in this area. He unfortunately was not able to participate and actually play sports growing up due to a heart defect that he was born with, but he never second-guessed being the team manager or, making sure that he was a part of what was going on. So he was still using his talents, just in a different way.
I think my dad became a firefighter because he enjoys being out in the community and helping others. My dad also enjoys having that bond with individuals of the same like, so I think that's why he became a firefighter. The firefighting family to my dad was very important. We actually still are friends with the firefighter families. We consider them family, so it was very important to my dad to be part of that family. And I think he really enjoyed it. There's actually a girl on the department that would call my dad her uncle, so I think it's very important to my dad. The fire department enjoyed having my dad on their fire department because he was an asset to their company. He would drive the trucks for them. He would also be there to add laughter as well, but I do think he was a important asset to the department.
When my dad did pass in December, he had been in the hospital for many months prior to that. And the entire time that he was in the hospital, the community, from kind of the direction of the fire department that my dad was a member of for over 20 years, did everything under the sun for our family. They held a vigil in our front yard. They did a fundraiser to raise money to help our family. They not only were there in the regard as far as like raising money and helping and getting the word out and keeping us supported, but they were there for us emotionally. They kept the prayers coming. They consistently checked in to see if there was anything that they could possibly do for our family. My sister and I both were out of town, so we would travel every other weekend alternating due to, of course, the restrictions and visitation policy. However, my mom was there from day in to day out, and fortunately her sister lived locally to the actual hospital, but the hospital was an hour from our house, so they checked in on the house, they kept up with yard work, anything you can think of, they were there. Without even a phone call, at the drop of the hat, they were there to support our family, and they've continued to support our family since his passing as well. I think it's hard to pinpoint one favorite moment with my dad. There's some very specific things that he would do throughout the year for both myself and my sister. Birthdays were big for us, but birthdays were big because my dad was a fabulous cook and would cook us whatever we wanted and whatever dessert we wanted as well. And for me, cheesecake is really big. So no matter what cheesecake I wanted, he would figure out a way to make it. My husband also really likes cheesecake, and there was one particular year that my dad was trying to make a red velvet cheesecake, and the number of boxes of red food coloring dye that we went through, turns out he read the recipe wrong. But he went to every grocery store in our area to buy red food coloring.
So to piggyback on my sister's, actually going back to the birthdays, I made it a little more challenging for my dad. I always wanted him to cook a whole pig on the grill. So he would actually barbecue a pig in our backyard on his big pig cooker, because that was, something that I loved. I loved having almost like a pig picking kind of thing. So that was, very special to me. And actually going back to our fire department family, for my first birthday without my dad, the chief of the fire department actually cooked a pig for me. And it was a surprise. And so my husband and I actually went to his house and picked it up. He actually made a couple trays of it. He did a chopped barbecue, and then he did a pulled pork barbecue. But it's just really nice to know that we have that support from our fire department and community, and just the fact that our chief was willing to kind of step in and almost fill that void for me for my birthday. So it's hard to pinpoint an actual single word for my dad, but I would definitely say selfless and caring.
I think if I had to describe my dad in maybe one word or a few, it would be that he's a genuine, loving family man. There's many stories that have been shared with us in regards to our dad, both from college as well as just, in the last 5 or 6 years. We do have a local restaurant that my dad went to every morning for breakfast for I don't even know how long at this point. And when we do visit home, we always make a point to go there on Saturday mornings and take the kids, and his picture hangs in the restaurant. He was very much family to them as much as he was family to us. And there is one particular individual at the restaurant that they would consistently play practical jokes on. And there was apparently a couch that my dad chose to pick up off the side of the road and actually take and put at the restaurant. That couch then made its way back over to my dad's body shop, and it went lots of different places until it finally actually was thrown away. But he was a jokester for sure. He routinely called my husband yard boy because my husband hated doing yard work. So there's many things that he would do that we probably may never know. But he certainly was an all-around kind of goofy guy as well.
My dad was full of laughter and full of jokes. If you were ever down, he would love to make you laugh some way, somehow. So my dad went to East Carolina University, and I actually went to East Carolina University as well. And my dad actually was known for a mule mouth, which is kind of not appropriate, but he would take a beer and crack it open and put the whole seal the beer around his mouth and just chug it right then and there. And I remember I tried it, but I was not successful. But that was something that my dad in college was known for doing. He was the mule mouther. But yeah, he was in a fraternity, and he was their house dad kind of person, and would help out and stuff. So he was always in the community helping, but he was life of the party.
I think the only thing for me, and I don't know if you would agree, but just how much of a family man he was. And I mean, he's got 4 grandchildren, and they thought he was the world, and then just the fact that he was a diehard East Carolina fan who was known for his purple and gold zany outfits, and he looked absolutely ridiculous, but everyone knew and expected it on day one, to the point where he even customized his Nike tennis shoes with my husband, on the Nike website, so that they were purple and gold and had Go Pirates on them, and on the back had Ace.
And we would always go to the football games, and we would always tailgate before. And my dad would always have to bring the crack, which is donut holes. And so everyone expected my dad to bring the donut holes. But yeah, he definitely was a family guy. I know every time we would come home to visit, he would take the kids up to the fire department and let the kids sit on the truck and sit in the truck. And whatever the kids wanted to do, his grandkids wanted to do, he would make sure that it would get done.